Welcome to Mommispace, the podcast for moms of all stages. My name is Aubrey Coots, and this podcast was created to give moms a voice to share their experiences and to share that there's not just one way to be a mom. This is a place where you can learn to love the woman inside the mother. Welcome back to Mommispace. This is Aubrey, and today I am here with my good friend Kelly Tillery.
Woohoo!
And she is a sweet friend, and we have known each other for almost 10 years.
Wow. Since 2009.
2009. She was my freshman RA.
You're the very first resident I ever met.
Yeah. So we have a very special bond. Anyways, I'm very excited to be interviewing her today. And again, this month, our theme is mompreneurs, which, to be honest, I had to look up what the definition of a mompreneur was. I know that sounds silly, but the definition is a mom that is working while raising her children at home. So this month, we're going to be highlighting some different moms that are working while raising their kids. And we're very excited to be interviewing Kelly today. So Kel, to start off, just because some people listening might not know you, tell us a little about yourself, your family, and the story of your journey into motherhood.
Wow. Well, I am a 29-year-old wife and mama. I've been married actually for 6 years. On June 29th. My husband and I will celebrate our 6-year anniversary. I'm the mother of Scotty, who is 16 months. And my journey into motherhood kind of began when I was, a little girl. I was the oldest of 3 girls. We loved to play dollies and mom and wear our babies and push the strollers. It was a blast. I've always wanted to be a mom. And I went to college. I got a degree in education, and I also received my master's in special ed. I've always loved kids. And I was fortunate enough to get a job at Cal Baptist University, which is a private university in Southern California. And I worked there as a residence director on campus working with college-age women. And I did that for 5 years. And then I got pregnant with our son in June of 2017. And decided that would be my last year at CBU and that I would stay home and raise our child. And so that's been a little bit of my journey. I love being a mom. It's such a gift and a blessing, as well as a wild ride that every day is something new. So that's a little bit about my journey into motherhood, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. And so now, like you said, he's 16 months old. Mm-hmm. And just this year, in February, so right before he turned 1, you started something new, right?
This is true, yes.
So can you go ahead and share a little bit about your business and kind of how that got started and why that got started?
Yeah. So in January of 2019, I was scrolling through Instagram late one night, and I follow a darling gal on Instagram like most of us do. We have these people that we've never met, but we follow because we love their lifestyle. We love how they are as a mom, their family, their values, all those kinds of things. And so this darling gal, Emma Stedman, sells Senegence makeup. And she was going over how their latest mascara has lash growth serum in it. And at 11:45 on a Monday night, I bought a $28 mascara that I believed would help grow my lashes because I wasn't wearing any makeup. I wasn't pulling myself together because I was a new mom and trying to figure everything out. And so I bought the mascara, fell in love with it, and that was in the middle of January. And the company was having a promo like most multi-level marketing companies do, that if you joined for that month, you'd get a credit for your account. And so I had talked to other people about it, my mentor and my mom and my sisters, before even bringing it up to Johnny, which is my husband. I was really nervous because I didn't want to bring the idea to him to make it seem like, hey, what you're doing for our family isn't enough. Let me try and do this on the side. I wanted it to more be an outlet, no matter what the income was, if there was even any income, of just a way that I could connect with other women, because my job at Cal Baptist provided female community for me because I was a residence director over an all-female living area 24/7. Yeah. I was always seeing college girls, always loving them, pouring into them, working with women that were my age. And so I really, really missed that. And so I asked Johnny about it, and he told me, he said, Kelly, you could sell anything. And I laughed. I was like, what do you mean? And he said, if you go to Target and you find a kimono you like, you post it on Instagram for everyone. And then next week I go to church and 6 girls are wearing that kimono. If you find out that Ralph's has avocados on sale, you're Instagramming that there's 5 for $3 avocados at Ralph's. You know what I mean? And so he said, I believe in you. You can do it. So prayed about it. And with the help of Mariah Price, who we both know and love, came up with the name Mint Magnolia. And I love the color mint. We lived on Magnolia Avenue, actually, for college. I lived there. That was my address for 10 years.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing the history of the name too, because I forgot that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So with your business and with having your little guy, I know I talked to you a little bit about this yesterday too. Mm-hmm. What is it like having that in the midst of everyday mom life?
It's a huge blessing. I realized that after Scotty was born, again, I went from being a working mom, living on a college campus, to we moved to a house. I wasn't working anymore and I was a new mom. And so many things changed for me overnight. And I realized that I wasn't pulling myself together, like putting on cute clothes. I didn't need to. I was getting barfed on all the time. I wasn't working out because I was too exhausted, and I wasn't putting on makeup because I wasn't going anywhere. And if I did get invited to go somewhere, I didn't want to go because I didn't want to pull myself together. And so that was a huge burden for me. And so I really had to, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening may feel that. There's this pressure I feel that we get from Instagram or family or friends that we always need to be pulled together. And while that isn't true, I feel that when we do pull ourselves together, we have a little bit more confidence. Yeah. We feel a little more brave, a little more excited to go out and do things. When I started this, kind of figuring out like, okay, Scotty's my number one priority. The reason that my husband works so hard for me to stay home is to raise our son. And so anything else that I'm going to do is either going to be before he wakes up, while he's sleeping, or after he goes to bed. Mm-hmm. And so just kind of learning that, it just got so exciting to do that I was just kind of doing it all the time when he was asleep. So I would wake up, check messages, direct messages. I would maybe post something on my story. And then Scotty and I would wake up, eat breakfast. I would either go to CrossFit because I started working out. I realized I can cover my face up with makeup, but if I'm not like internally feeling great because I haven't worked out, it doesn't really mean anything for me personally. And so then I would come home and put Scotty down for a nap, and I would get ready. I would take a shower, film my tutorials, do my hair, and I would be ready for the day at like 11:30, which sounds wild for all you moms who actually do a job every day. Hats off to you. But that was kind of my me time. And I found that my confidence and how I felt as a mom and a wife and a friend and like even a contributor to the community was so much better because I just had a lot more energy. I felt more brave and confident as a woman. And so that's kind of how it started working its way in. And it has still stayed that way. Of when Scotty naps is kind of when I work. And at night when he goes to bed is when I package orders. And so that's kind of how I've worked it in so far.
Yeah, that's great. And it's been so cool to see even in the last few months how much Mint Magnolia has already expanded and become something so big, like even, so quickly, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. So in that, what have been some of the best things and one of the hardest things about working while being a mom? And how have you worked to overcome that? Or maybe are you working to try to overcome that?
I think mom guilt is a word that we use a lot in our culture, in our day and age. We spend too much time on our phone. We feel mom guilt. We go out and spend time with our friends. We feel mom guilt. We, take a shower by ourselves and our kids are knocking on the bathroom door. We feel mom guilt. And so I don't remember who it was or where I heard it because I have mom brain, but someone just said that mom guilt is the biggest lie that the enemy feeds us. Yeah. And that hit home really hard to me because, when I think about my mom who raised us and was home with us and was an incredible mom, you and I are blessed to have just out of this world moms. My mom never watched the TV. She was never on a phone. They didn't have phones back then. Yeah. And so what did mom guilt look like for them back then? And so as a Christian, knowing that the enemy is constantly going after me to feel guilt, to feel shame. And so to overcome those things was really like, I am gifted, I'm called, Not only to be a mom. Mom is not my only role, just like wife is not my only role. Daughter is not my only role. Right. So how do I work all of those things into being strong, brave, wise, kind, loving, and compassionate? Sometimes it is taking a shower for an hour. Sometimes it is spending time with my friends, putting my baby to bed and coming out here at night so that I can have a great time with a friend who I don't get to see a lot. And so working to overcome any of the lies that the enemy throws at me of, you should be spending more time with your son, or you should be packaging orders, you should be doing tutorials, you should be making dinner. There's all these, our pastor at church says you get shoulded on a lot of all the things you should be doing. Yeah. And so really just choosing, what does today look like for me? Okay, I want to do a tutorial. I want to go to the pool with Scotty. I want to make sure I read to Scotty. I need to make sure I make dinner. And having like a short list of things to get done so that I can do them well is kind of how I'm trying to operate these days, and giving myself a huge heap. I think of how we as moms make peanut butter and jelly. Well, I don't for my kid because he's allergic to peanuts. Stay away, Jiffy. But all these moms that throw like those Smuckers peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at their kids, I'm like, God, I envy you. Anyways, moving on. I think of how, we make sure on the piece of bread that we hit the peanut butter on every corner. I think about myself as the piece of bread and Grace as the peanut butter and jelly, just making sure I cover every corner, knowing that I am loved and seen and known as a wife, as a mom, as a friend, even if I'm 20 minutes late to meet my friend, even if I didn't get dinner on the table by 5, even if I didn't get a chance to read a book to my son. There's grace for all of these areas of things that we're striving towards and we should, quote, be doing. So I'm working on believing those things every day. And it's a journey and something that I am trying to encourage other moms to as well. Is just give themselves grace. It's really hard, whether you have 1 kid or 3 like you. Like I told you, I don't know how you do it. Bob, you're an amazing mom. We're all just trying to be incredible moms and be faithful to our calling and our gift. God chose these children for us specifically, and he knows what we've got on our plate, and there's grace for each day. Yeah. So,
man, drop the mic. Okay, we're done. No, seriously, thank you so much. Like, even for me hearing that, and I for sure need to be reminded of that because, man, I feel like my piece of bread just has way too many toppings. And sometimes it's just a really crappy sandwich.
No, just give me a bite of that. Some chocolate chips, raisins. Gosh. No.
Yeah. And so I think just that reminder of, covering every area of your life with grace and taking it one day at a time. And even very practically, okay, here's, how did you say that we live in a world of should-haves or?
Yeah. We get shoulded on a lot.
We get shoulded on. Yeah. I do that to myself daily. Mm-hmm. I should have done this today. I should have finished this. I should have mailed this, and I get to the end of the day and I'm just like, oh, and I have this ongoing list forever. And that's something I'm trying to work through. Mm-hmm. But I think that's very practically something for me. Like, okay, pick a few things that are realistic, that are of priority to get done, because there's always more to do.
Yeah.
And, and just taking it one day at a time. So thank you. Just kidding. We're not done because she has more good things to say. Okay. What advice would you give to other moms who are wanting to work doing something they're passionate about while raising their kids?
Oof. That's a hard one because I feel like so many different moms are called to different things. There's the stay-at-home mom who is homeschooling her kids. There's the stay-at-home mom who's doing a side hustle like me. Then there are working moms who are up at 5, 6 a.m. every day, making sure their kids get breakfast and they're to school on time or daycare, whatever that looks like. And then there's the women who don't have kids, who would love to be a mom.
Yeah.
And so there's so many women that fall under that, umbrella. So what advice would I give to other moms? And I know that this is Mommispace, but for women even too who would want to be a mom. There's so many of our friends, that are walking in that right now. And so I think my advice would more be an encouragement is to stay in your lane, because so many times I want another person's gift. You know, I want to be able to go to work from 8 to 5 and be able to have I want what somebody else has. And so, that question where it says, what am I passionate about? And what I'm passionate about has always been making other women feel seen, known, and loved. I mean, that was the reason I wanted to be an RA.
Yeah.
Back in 2009. Another thing I'm passionate about is leading worship. And so we lead worship at our church on the weekends, and that takes away time from our family as well. And so on Thursday nights, when we have rehearsal, Sunday mornings when we're up at, the butt crack of dawn for 3 services, those are things I'm passionate about. Yeah. And so those things require my time inside the home when I'm preparing, for Sunday services or whatever, as well as outside the home. And so my encouragement would be is whatever you're passionate about, stay in your lane. If I'm passionate about calligraphy and art, do that and do it well. Yeah. If you are passionate about homeschooling, girl, go for it, because we are all cheering you on, because we're in awe that you can do that. Yeah. Moms that work, anybody that is a mom is a working mom.
Yes.
I mean, amen to that, right? Yeah. And so for me, my encouragement was, I just found that, not that being home, and I don't want to say this loud and clear, not that being home with Scotty as a stay-at-home mom was not enough, because it was just, there was a part of me that longed for a little bit more. And it was that woman piece that had been so vital in my life for so long that I missed. And I used to laugh when I would read those people that say, like, my Facebook, ladies that I'm friends with my, and I used to be like, honey, please, they are on the internet and they live in Connecticut, the 4-hour time zone ahead of you. They're not your friends. And then I joined, and now I get these messages from these ladies. And thankfully, the Senegence group that I'm a part of under Emma's leadership is mostly God-fearing, darling Christian women. And so it's, hey, I've got an interview tomorrow. Can you guys pray for me? Hey, my husband got laid off. Money's a little tight right now, which is why I'm doing Senegence, or things like that. So my encouragement would be, whatever you're passionate about, it does not have to take a sideline to you being a mom. It doesn't have to, you don't have to sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else do what they're passionate about because you're raising your kids. Yeah. And there's some moms that their passion is raising their kids and being a homemaker and those things. And those are beautiful, wonderful things. Yeah. And I feel like in the culture that we live in, everybody's doing it better than we are. Mm-hmm. So we forget, kind of like you said, my plate or my piece of bread is really full. Well, Obs, what are the things that you do amazing? You make women feel known and loved. I just watched you put your 3 kids to bed. In 10 minutes, you read them a story, you prayed with them, you sang with them. It was a well-oiled machine. Like, that is beautiful. That is work. And that is something that you've been passionate about. You love kids. I remember that from when we met. And so whatever your passion is, like I said, does not need to take a sideline, but also don't let it become such a sole focus of what you're doing that you miss out on the beauty of raising your kids or being at their soccer games or, whatever it is, in as much as you can. Be present and be passionate and be bold would be my encouragement.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing all of that. I think that it's cool how you even differentiated, like, okay, there's all these, first off, yes, agreed, every mom is a working mom.
Yes, Lord.
But just in those different things and in the different views you have personally on what that looks like in raising your kids and in what working looks like in your own life, just striving to do that well, I feel like is really good stuff. Thank you for that. So specifically with Magnolia, I know that something that you shared is like, or I don't know if you shared this in this interview, but something I know that you've shared is just your passion in helping women feel confident and beautiful. I know you did touch on that. So with Magnolia and getting to do that, and even last night, I got to go to this fun open house party and get pampered and do a mask and try a new lipstick and even little things like that. So with that, what is a way that you hope your business specifically encourages other moms that are working from home?
I don't know if this is true for all moms that work from home, but when you stay at home, that primarily means pajamas, no bra, maybe a shirt. You know what I'm saying? So especially for all you nursing mamas. So when you're staying at home all day, you don't really need to pull yourself together. And then you get invited to go to Target and you're like, I look like a homeless person. So sorry, can't go, because the work that it's going to require for me to look like not a homeless person is too much to go to Target. So for me, I just found that I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing the fun things. And so this makeup in particular is long lasting. It's vegan, cruelty free. Also for a long time I said vegan free because I'm not vegan. So I don't know that vegan free is not actually a thing. So it's vegan.
It's vegan free.
No
vegans use it.
So the makeup is long lasting. It's incredible. And so for me, it was super simple to put on. This was another thing I realized, especially in being an RD over hundreds of women every year. A lot of girls don't know how to put makeup on.
Yeah.
Their mom was just like, hey, here's some stuff from Target. Not that wearing anything from Target, but they weren't taught how to do it.
Right.
And so a lot of YouTubers, what's popular now is makeup tutorials and how to put together an outfit. Those are things that girls want to know how to do. And so what I found was that I had the time to do it because I was a stay-at-home mom. And my mom, we actually learned how to do our makeup. She took us to a, little makeup store called Merle Norman, if any of you are familiar. And they taught us how to wear makeup. So I felt confident that I knew how to do it. And so what surprised me most, and I think why it's grown, is girls just love watching other people do something well and that someone else is passionate about.
Yeah.
So I literally do makeup tutorials probably 3 to 4 times a week. I'll do a full face. And here's the thing, I mess up all the time.
Yeah.
So I've got, the eyeliner that was supposed to be in a straight line that looks like a 2-year-old took a pencil to a wall, and that's my eyeliner. So I'm learning with you guys.
She's real.
Yeah, it's real. One time I lost a comb in my hair and did a full 360. Wow. Anyways, moving on. Magnolia makeup, you can see it for yourself in the bloopers highlight, because I have one of those.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a real thing. But I don't even remember the original question. Something about
encouraging.
Yes. My encouragement would be this. From the polls that I've taken, I think it was 87 or something % of women said that they feel more confident when they're wearing makeup, whether they're going to the grocery store or they're going to a fancy gala event. So in order to do that, you need to know how to do it, and having makeup that is long lasting. What I love about our stuff is, like you said, I can see the lip sense is still on your hand. Yep. Most of you know lip sense. The makeup doesn't come off, so it's long lasting, and it's vegan, not free. It's vegan, non-comedogenic.
I'm sorry, non-what?
Gluten-free, non-comedogenic.
What does that mean? It doesn't clog pores.
Thank you.
Wow. Yes. I actually am not really sure why I knew that, but
I'm glad you knew it because I don't know.
I
probably said it in one of my tutorials 3 months ago and forgot. So it's all the fun things that people are concerned about these days.
Yeah.
In putting stuff on their skin. So long story short, my advice would be that if that is something that is keeping you from going out or pulling yourself together, or a lot of moms go through postpartum, putting a little mascara on, maybe a little concealer for them hormonal acne, and a little bit of lip color will take you far in your confidence and being brave enough to face the world of perfect people on the internet that you feel you have to measure up to.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. That's really encouraging. And it's cool just to hear why you're doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I love watching your story and watching your tutorials, because it is real, and you're like, oh, didn't mean to do that, but that's relatable. Watching the perfect makeup artist do a tutorial, I'm like, well, I can never do that, so I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And I just love a good before and after.
Oh,
and
Lord.
That being said, you're beautiful before.
No, I posted a picture the other day. I went and got my eyebrows waxed because these are distant cousins, not even relatives. But because I got waxed and I normally get threaded, I had 2 massive pimples in the middle of my forehead. So I did a number with green and light concealer, and they were gone. But the before was a nasty.
I was impressed.
Friday night.
That green concealer.
It does wonders.
It does.
If you're interested in canceling out redness, Green concealer is your go-to. And Elf from Target doesn't do it quite as well, let me tell you. She just look like you're wearing a green face mask from It Takes
You just
Two.
look like an elf.
The Grinch.
Oh, man. Okay. We're getting off topic. For moms that are listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, I need this makeup and I need to learn how to wear it from Kelly, where could they find you?
So
on the interwebs.
On the webbings of the inters. www.mintmagnoliashop.com. My friend helped me put together a website with cute pictures and all the products. You can go on there. A lot of people are like, hey, why is a lipstick $25? Well, because it doesn't come off. I'm serious.
Ever.
Literally, you'll be scrubbing your lips for years. No, that's what we're known for is Lip Sense. Some of you may know it. It's long-lasting lip color so that when you take a drink of water or you kiss a baby's forehead. MintMagnoliaShop.com. You can go check it out, as well as Mint Magnolia Makeup on Instagram. I have something new, fun, fresh every day, usually on Mint Magnolia for the Instagram.
Yeah.
And I get from a lot of nursing mamas that they watch at night while they're nursing their babies. That just like warms my heart. But I also put text at the bottom. So if you're not able to listen at work or with whatever you're doing, there's text at the bottom telling you usually whatever I'm doing in that specific video.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll watch during nap time, but I'm like scared my kids are going to wake up. So I'm just reading.
So, hey, I did a poll. I do lots of polls too. So answer the polls so I know how to better serve you.
Yeah.
Mommispace listeners.
One final question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the legacy you want to leave for your children?
This is something that I am very proud of. But I've been prayer journaling since I was 15. I have over 100 of them. I think you've seen them.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, my mentor, I told her that I would sit in bed at night and I would try to pray. And then I would look up at the pictures on my wall and be like, Grandma, I wonder how Grandma's doing. Call Grandma. Talk to Grandpa, then I'm asleep. So, so she told me to start writing my prayers down. And over the years, that has been an outlet for me. It's been a way I've seen God answer prayers. It's been a way to vent when some of my words were not seasoned with salt, if you know what I mean. So I have these journals that I have been writing down what God has done in my life as well as Johnny's life since I've known him, which has been 7 years, and how God has saved our marriage, how he has redeemed what was lost and broken and had no future or no hope. And so my legacy to my kids is going to be these books of God's faithfulness and what I learned, and letters that I've written to them within these journals of, Scotty, today you were born and my life changed forever. Wow. Today you learned that life isn't always fair. Today you fell for the first time, or today you got your first F. Today you got your first broken heart. And so we write letters in forms of prayers. When I say we, I mean me. Johnny attempts, bless his heart. But my legacy to them I want to be is that God is always faithful. And that even when it looks different than I wanted it to look, or I thought that it would look, or hoped it would, it all works out in the end. And that my children will always be known and seen and loved, not only by me, but by the God who created them and who loves them more than I ever could. And I fail as a mom. I've failed many times already, and I will fail, and I will let them down. And I will try my best, just like, we all are, but it will never be good enough. But the legacy that I want for them to have is that I will be a safe space because my hope is in Jesus. And he has taught me, refined me, shaped me, molded me, and chosen me specifically as a mompreneur, whatever it is, aside for them. Yeah. And so that is my hope, is that they will grow up seeing me journal, read letters to them. And like you were reading, stories, people love stories. And so when I go back and I read, today I met your dad, today I knew that he was going to be the one, you know, today was a really hard day for your dad and I, and we made it through. You know, kids love that, especially kids growing up. They want security and safety. And so also another thing that I want my kids to know is that dad and I are always on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, that I think that's really important for kids to grow up in. You know, my mom and dad, I could go ask dad a question and know that mom was going to have the same answer in my family. And so kids crave stability. They crave knowing those things. And so I want to be able to offer that to my kids, that my marriage is strong and steady, and that I'm going to give that to my kids as a safe space. Mom and dad are on the same page. Mom and dad are rooted and grounded, and moving forward, they know whose they are and that they were created for a much bigger purpose than to just be happy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's written in journals for them to have for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So,
wow, that's amazing. I as you started talking about the prayer journals, I had forgotten about that. But I do remember you showing me before, like a big stack of ones that you had for years, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how much more you've been able to write out and process with the Lord just over the years. So thanks for sharing that. And that is such a cool, tangible thing that you'll get to pass on to your kids someday.
They might come to me with like, Mom, so what about this page? I'm like, skip it. Just skip it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't read it.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the episode and
so fun.
being my first friend guest that I got to interview. I mean, I interviewed my husband, but that was a little
I'm a close second.
different. You're up there. Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. So much fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check out all of the goodness from today's episode on the show notes and share this with a friend if it impacted you in any way. You can also leave a review on iTunes so other mamas can join in the movement of loving the woman inside the mother. Join our online Mommispace community every day by following us on Instagram at Mommispace, that's MOMMI space, where you can interact with me, some of our past guests, ask simple or hard questions, and give your valuable input on how to make Mommispace an even more beautiful, safe place for mamas all over the world. All my love to you, mama. You are enough.